What if the headphones you're probably wearing right this second are holding a secret that could be affecting our health in ways we never, ever imagined?
A secret that's literally baked right into the very plastics they're made from. A recent investigation by a group called the Tox-Free Project decided to find out what's really inside our headphones. So, they went out and bought 81 different pairs, sent them all off for some detailed lab analysis.
Of those 81 pairs, hazardous substances were detected in 100% of them.
So this wasn't just a few bad apples, The researchers looked and they called it a market-wide failure.
So what exactly are these hazardous substances they found? And the specific culprits they found? It's pretty concerning. We're talking about bisphenol A. You've probably heard of it as BPA, which research has linked to serious problems including hormone disruption and even cancer. Then you have phthalates, which can impair fertility, chlorinated paraffins tied to liver and kidney damage, and all sorts of flame retardants that also act as endocrine disruptors.
And just look at how common these were. BPA, the one we just mentioned, showed up in 98% of the samples. Its chemical substitute, BPS, was found in more than 3/4 of them. So this shows you they aren't just rare contaminants, they're nearly everywhere.
Okay, so a lot of these chemicals fall into a category called endocrine disruptors. Think of them like tiny imposters. They're substances that can seriously interfere with our body's delicate hormone system. They basically mimic natural hormones like estrogen, and that can throw our entire biology completely out.
Let's break down how these chemicals can actually enter your body.
It's a process called migration, and it's actually pretty straightforward. First, the chemicals are just hanging out in the plastic parts of the headphones. Second, things like your body heat and sweat start to speed up their release from that plastic. Third, your headphones are in direct, prolonged contact with your skin. And fourth, from there, those chemicals can be absorbed right into your body.
And hey, this isn't just a theory. Karolina Brabska, a chemical expert who worked on the study, highlights this exact point. She says that daily use, and especially using them at the gym when you're heating up and sweating, that just speeds up this entire migration process.
So, what does this all mean for our health in the long run? This leads us to the crucial question: are our headphones a hidden health risk?
You see, the amount of chemicals from your headphones on any given day might be small, but what researchers are really concerned about is something called the cocktail effect. We're exposed to these chemicals from so many different sources every single day, not just headphones. Over time, all those little doses add up, creating a combined long-term risk.
And when it comes to these specific types of chemicals, the researchers are really clear. Because endocrine disruptors work by mimicking our natural hormones, there is simply no established safe level of exposure. Any amount could potentially disrupt our system.
So, after a discovery like this, the obvious question is, what can be done? That brings us to our final section. What happens next?
Well, in response to their findings, the campaigners behind the project are calling for some pretty significant changes. They want broad bans on entire classes of these hormone-disrupting chemicals. They're demanding greater transparency from manufacturers so that we, the consumers, actually know what's in the products we buy. And they're pushing for much stricter regulations on consumer goods overall.
Ultimately, this whole thing is about making sure that the products we integrate so deeply into our lives, the things we wear for hours every single day, are actually safe for our long-term health, and that they aren't slowly exposing us to a cocktail of potentially harmful chemicals. This investigation was a deep dive into headphones, but it leaves us with a much bigger question to think about. What other everyday items, the things we use without a second thought, are hiding secrets in their chemical makeup?